Today we're going to be covering the 5 top places to live in and around Phoenix. You're not going to want to miss this, but let's be real, this is all subjective. Everybody has their opinions. Everybody likes certain things. We are just going to be using a website that ranks different cities and different places in and around Phoenix, and we wanted to share that with you, but ultimately you decide where you want to live, and we want to know your opinion. As I'm going through here, comment, let me know what you think about each city. What research have you done? What cities do you like? Let us know in the comments, but let's dig in. Oh, and if you're new here, my name is Ryan Ehler, and with my partner Kyle Tyler, we are the Phoenix City Living #1 relocation experts. And if you have any questions about real estate in the Phoenix area, you can contact us at the information below. Now let's get to those cities. And the website we're using here today is niche.com, and they just gather a bunch of data, a bunch of reviews. They analyze everything. They use like user insights, and then they just produce grades. So it's just a fun way to see how things are ranking based off of the research that this company does. So, I don't want to show you yet. You have to stay to see what #1 is. Okay, where's it at? Where's it at? We're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, I almost showed you. There it is. Paradise Valley is #5. Now, what does this site have to say about Paradise Valley? It is ranked an A overall. I'm going to get to the map here in a second and show you exactly where it is. So public schools an A, housing A, good for families A-, crime and safety a B, nightlife A-, and B- for diversity. So the cool thing here about all of these cities is it's all determining what you need in a place to live, not what other people rank it, but it's cool to see what other people say. So population just over 12,000. Now here's the kicker. This is an extremely affluent area with extremely high house values. So the median home value here is over $1.7 million. That's the median. That's the average. It's pretty wild here. And the average rent is almost $3,500. And most people in this area own. Now here we are on the map. I'm going to click it so you guys can see exactly where we are. So this is right on the edge of Phoenix and Scottsdale. So heart of Phoenix down here, and then we have Paradise Valley here, and there's some crazy houses here, like on the mountains, 12 million, 20 million plus, and there's some smaller houses as well. But when you get up there into the foothills and the mountains, the houses out there like are built into the mountain. Some houses, like when you look through, like you're inside, the mountain is like the back window. It's like it's there, like literally resting against it. It's really bananas. So that's where Paradise Valley sits. Okay, now here's some interesting facts too. I like how they rank different things. So in terms of best places to retire in Arizona, it's #4. So #4 out of 120. Now best suburbs for young professionals, it's #4 out of 56. So a lot of young professionals like to live here. And best suburbs to live in, just in general, is #6. Now, which is odd because when in the rank it was #5, but we'll just take, like I said, this is all subjective, but it's fun. It's fun just to look at the data that they come up with. Now, if we look here at the crime, and you can go on the site whenever you want, niche.com, if you want to review different cities, and it's all based off like the national average, right? So if it's lower, then it's going to be better in case of that. If it's higher in terms of other things, it's going to be better, and you can kind of just look at it there. So this is just showing us the stats for crime and safety, so it's relatively safe. And then in terms of residents, it kind of just shows like the diversity of residents here, education levels, age, things of that nature. We can click more, we can look, and we can see predominantly retirement age is the overall highest category here in terms of age of residents. And if we go a little bit further, and working in Paradise Valley, the median household income is over $200,000. And if we go a little bit further down here, it just gives us some reviews and things of that nature. So that was #5 on the list for best cities in and around Phoenix, Paradise Valley. #4 best place to live is Scottsdale, Arizona. Let's see what niche.com has to say about Scottsdale. So overall, it is an A. We can see the ratings here, and let's dig in a little bit to the numbers. So the population here, 238,000 plus. And if we go into the real estate, the median household value here, or the house value here, is $540,000. Median rent, $1,500 and some change. Now, this is a stark difference compared to what we just saw in Paradise Valley in, like, what is that, a third? Less than a third for the median household value here. And then we have a difference in terms of owning and rent. So a lot more people rent here than in Paradise Valley. Now let's get into the rankings here. So best cities to retire in America. This is the #1 city to retire in America. And I have a sneaky, suspicion here. It's because of all the golf courses. There are bananas golf courses in Phoenix, private and public, where people love to go and spend their retirement years playing golf. And you can golf here year round. So I think people just love the ability to golf. And it is hot in the summers, but if you get out there bright and early at like 5 o'clock, it's not that bad. I've done that with buddies for years. You just get up, you're the first one to tee off. You can get through a round in about an hour and a half to 2 hours before anyone else gets out there. And if you're lucky, you can hit the links before it reaches 100 and exit the links before it reaches 100 in the morning. Some days it's already 100 at 5 o'clock in the morning, but that's for another video. Let's move on with the rankings. Best cities to live in America, number 25 out of 228. And then healthiest cities in America, it's number 25. So very interesting there. Now Scottsdale, we already saw a little peek when we were over in Paradise Valley. So Scottsdale ranges very long in terms of from south to north, and it's a little bit narrow, and you have a wide disparity. So if you're down here closer to Tempe, it's gonna be a little bit more of like college towns, like we call it like Old Town Scottsdale. And then as we get up, it's going to be a little bit different in terms of what you're gonna get. So there's a wide variety of what you wanna get out of Scottsdale and what Scottsdale offers depending on where you're at within Scottsdale. Now, if we keep trucking along here, we can see crime and safety. So overall, it's a little bit more crime than we saw in Paradise Valley. And then in terms of residents, there's a lot more diversity in terms of residents. We see education level here. And then in terms of like working in Scottsdale, the median household income is just over $97,000. So that is less than half than we saw in Paradise Valley. And people give it really solid reviews. People love Scottsdale. And I think that's one reason why it ranked number 4 on the list. Number 3 best places to live is Gilbert, Arizona. Let's see what the stats say about Gilbert. All right, so A overall. Personally, I love Gilbert. I've lived in Gilbert. Actually, I've owned, I think it's just one house that I've owned in Gilbert. I've owned in a bunch of different cities. But I love Gilbert. Gilbert's a really cool family city. Very low crime from what I've seen. It's just a cool place to raise kids. And let's just see what we have to see in terms of the stats. So population, 262,000. Now, I've definitely seen this go up over the years. It is getting more crowded than it used to be. The median home value is $377,000, so not as much as Scottsdale, not nearly as much as Paradise Valley. Median rent is just over $1,600, and we can see here that a lot of people own in Gilbert. If we keep digging in, here's the map. And I'm gonna scroll out so we can see, so the heart of Phoenix here, then we have Gilbert. And so let's say we wanna get to Phoenix, we're probably looking at about 40 minutes to an hour, depending on like how south in Gilbert you are, and then how like northwest you are in Gilbert, and then traffic as well. So Gilbert is fairly large, and we're right up against Queen Creek, Mesa, Chandler, and so there's a lot of surrounding cities here as well. And we might see some of these in here as well, so stay tuned for that. And if you ever have any questions about the surrounding areas of Phoenix, you're interested in these suburbs, and you just want to know more about it, and you want help finding the right property that's going to fit you, I highly recommend that you reach out, because we do private free Zoom calls and help you dial in your search, exactly what you're looking for. And to set this up, you can call us, you can text us, you can email us anytime at the information below and set up one of these calls so that you are dialed in, you get the insider scoop when you're looking to purchase a property in Phoenix or these surrounding areas. Now back to Gilbert. Let's see what the rankings are. Best suburbs to live in Arizona, so number 4, we saw that. Best suburbs to raise a family in Arizona, number 4. So I already mentioned raising family here, that's where I've been. And then best suburbs for young professionals in Arizona, number 6. So very interesting there. Now this is surprising to me, and that's what's cool about these stats, is I've seen almost no crime when I've lived in Gilbert. Just haven't seen it. And it's ranked definitely better than the national average, but I was surprised that it was only a C plus and it wasn't higher. So that was definitely interesting. Now, in terms of residents, we see fairly good diversity there, and we have the education levels. Now, working at the median household income, $105,000, and people really love Gilbert, and I see why. I see why it's ranked number 3. Number 2 best places to live is Chandler, Arizona, and I've lived here as well. So let's dig in to Chandler. Chandler was actually probably one of my most favorite places to live. I love the area. I love the downtown. I love the ease to getting on the freeways and getting to where I wanted to go. I really enjoyed living in Chandler, and it's overall ranked an A. So we have 272,000 people that live there. Median household value is about $351,000 and median rent about $1,400. So we're seeing very, very similar to Chandler. There's a lot of places in Gilbert that are much newer than Chandler. Chandler has much older places. And so there's a little bit more history, a little bit more kind of roots dug in, I would say, to Chandler compared to Gilbert. So it's really like personal preference. I would be ecstatic to live in either one of these cities personally, like raising a family. I love both. We have a little bit more renters here than we've seen in Gilbert and the other cities. And then let's take a peek here on the map. So as I said, we were butting up against Gilbert here, and then we have Chandler butting up against like coming into Phoenix over here, and then we have Tempe right here. And Chandler is very large as well. I really enjoy the south part of Chandler here. That's just my personal preference. I like the south part of Chandler and Gilbert, so it's easy to get to the mountains, to go hiking, to go biking, to go motorcycling, to go like four-wheeling. That's kind of like what I like, my hobbies. Like that's one of the coolest things about Arizona is being able to get out in the desert and just rip if you want to, and just do outdoor things. Like that's my passion. That's what I love. So if we go into the ratings, places with the best public schools in Arizona, number 2. So that's important for some people. And I did see this. The public schools from our experience in Chandler were amazing. The public schools were amazing. Suburbs with the best public schools in Arizona. Wait. Oh, places. Suburbs, places? Okay. I don't know the difference in... Okay, so they're taking places and then they're doing suburbs, making it different. Okay, that makes sense. So number 2 out of 56, and then best suburbs to live in Arizona, number 3 out of 56. Very interesting. So crime and safety is a C+. So we're very comparable to Gilbert here, and you can see the stats. And then in residents, let's take a peek here. You know, very diverse here. And then with the education, and then working in Chandler, median household income, $91,000 and change. And then reviews, people love Chandler as well. And I can definitely see why Chandler was ranked number 2, best places to live in and around Phoenix. And number 1 best place to live in and around Phoenix is Ahwatukee Foothills. Let's dig into the data here. Overall, A+, I mean, that's not surprising because it was ranked number 1. Let's see why everybody loves it. Now, look at this. Population is less dense, right? We have, or less people, 78,000 in terms of the population. The real estate median home value is $396,000, median rent $1,763. So very comparable to like a Chandler or a Gilbert. And then the rent to own, very comparable. I think that was to Chandler there. Now on the map, let's take a peek here. And we can see it's a little bit smaller than we saw like in Chandler, we saw in Gilbert, and we're butting up here against like Phoenix and Tempe here, and people love it. So I guess it's almost like its own little, it's huge cul-de-sac. It's just like right up there, butted up against the mountains, and people absolutely love living in Ahwatukee Foothills. Now, if we look at the ranking, so best neighborhoods to live in Phoenix, it's number 1. I mean, that's why it's ranked number 1 on this list, right? Best neighborhoods to raise a family in Phoenix, number 1. I did not know that. So people just love kind of that seclusion, being over there in the foothills, and it's one of the reasons why it's ranked number 1. Best neighborhoods to buy a house in Phoenix is number 2. That's pretty cool. And that's what's fun about looking at these rankings is every place has a different ranking, and it's fun for me to see like how other people and sites rank it based off of the information that they gather. So crime and safety, for whatever reason, there's no rank here, so we're just gonna skip that. Median household income just over 111,000, and no surprise, high ranking. People love Ahwatukee foothills, and that's why it's the #1 best place to live on this list. So I want to know your thoughts, because it's all about you. What do you want? What do you need? What are you looking for in a place in Phoenix or the surrounding areas? What's the perfect home? What's the perfect neighborhood? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments, because it's always fun to see other people's perspective. What's important to you? Is it places to go? Is it friends? Is it entertainment? Is it schools? Is it commute? Is it having more bang for your buck, more house for what you're paying? All of those things matter, and it would be very interesting to see what your thoughts are on that. And if you have any questions about buying or selling in or around the Phoenix area, text us, call us, email us anytime at the information below. We are the #1 relocation experts in the area. This is what we do. We've helped hundreds of people just like you. We want to make sure that you have everything covered, because moving from out of state to Arizona is a big endeavor. Even moving from in-state to another city is a big difference from if you're used to a certain place. So it's so important to know all the intricacies, knowing the ins and outs from people that have been there, who have lived it, who know the area before you make that final buying decision, because there's nothing worse. And I can tell you from clients' experience, when they buy something and then within 6 months or a year, they go, I absolutely hate this house and I hate this area. I need to sell this. I don't care if I lose money. And it's sad. And it usually only happens when people make a rash decision. They don't have all the information. They don't do the research, and they just make just a buying decision like, I want this house, I'm buying it. So don't let this happen to you. Make sure that you do your due diligence, and we're here to help you with that. And if you found any value in this video at all, I highly, highly, highly suggest that you watch this video next.